But I'm just going to do a quick rundown of all the groups. I know I don't have my face cam on. I don't know it's being gay right now. I have to reset my thing. So in each group, there are 4 pots. Pot A, Pot B, Pot C, Pot D. There are groups A through H. And the first pot, which is the top 8 teams. The second pot is the bottom 8 teams, or the bottom 16 teams. The next are the bottom, or it looks like 24 teams, and then after that is the bottom 32 teams. So I think, I don't fucking know, but we're gonna go just over the groups. I'll go ahead and put pictures up on the screen so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. I'm gonna try not to play this Infinite Warfare too loud, not to shoot too much, so let's just join the party real quick. So in Group A, we have Optic Gaming, Epsilon, Echo Fox, and Threes Up. If you guys watched Stage 2, you obviously saw Optic taking that over MV with the 2 series sweep practically. Well, it wasn't a sweep, but they beat them in 2 series since they were coming out from the losers. Pretty simple opponent, to say the least. Optic is so much better than MV, and if anybody thought MV could beat them, either they were delusional, they were really fucking hopeful, I guess. We have Epsilon, probably, I think it's the second best team in the EU, aside from Splice. I think top 8 or top 4 in EU is Splice, Epsilon, Red, or Splice, Fnatic, Epsilon, and Red. So we have one of the top 4 EU teams in that group. We have Echo Fox, which did do really well on in the Last Chance qualifier. If you guys didn't watch the Last Chance qualifier, they got a chance to try to get into the champs brackets. There was a bunch, I think it was like 24 teams and only 18 made it, so that was really cool to see all those teams either make it or not. So we have Echo Fox, which has Replays on it. Replays used to be the coach for FaZe when Clayster was on there, and that's the only reason, and that's why the reasons he left FaZe, because Clayster is no longer on FaZe. Replays used to play for Denial alongside JCap, Attach, Clayster, and yeah, those 3, and they won a championship together. So hopefully maybe Replays' championship mentality can come and help Echo Fox out, maybe get them a top 16, maybe top 10. Threes Up has a lot of the, like, I guess the rejects. They have Swirly, they have a couple other people, I forgot who else, but they have the reject team practically. They're really good people. They've all competed at a high level, but they just haven't gotten their chance this year to really, you know, exceed to their opponents. So the 2 people I see coming out of this group within Optic, Epsilon, Echo Fox, and Threes Up, as honestly, I think Echo Fox probably makes it out and Epsilon doesn't. I feel like EU, the only good EU team right now is probably Splice. After what we saw in Stage 2, Epsilon just wasn't doing well in like the groups and didn't even make it to the top 8 teams. So I think it's Optic Gaming and Echo Fox that actually come out on top, since, I mean, I'm pretty sure Echo Fox can lose to Optic and beat everybody else however many times you have to do, and then still do perfectly fine and you know, the plays. So that's the Group A. We have Echo Fox and Optic Gaming coming out of Group A. So let's move on to Group B. We have Envious, Team Elevate, Project Evil, and Mindfreak Black. So you guys are thinking, Mindfreak, what the fuck? Mindfreak Black, Mindfreak, what the hell? Well, a lot of teams, I don't know if you guys remember, but a lot of organizations have 2 teams to just change up the name, because CWO rules do not permit you to have 2 teams under the same banner. So they'll just change the name. That's why back then we had Optic Gaming and Optic Nation, where we had Scump and all those, and then the Veterans on the other. So same thing here with Mindfreak. We have Mindfreak Black and Mindfreak Regular. I do not know who's on Mindfreak Black. I think it's like, yeah, I don't know who's on Mindfreak Black compared to regular Mindfreak. So we'll see how that plays out later in the tournament. I have no idea, but MBS obviously coming in second in Stage 2. They played out of their minds, but they were very vulnerable to the likes of Optic and United. But they did do their jobs against United, Luminosity, and all those other teams like FaZe. So I think it's an obvious MBS comes out of that group, and it's kind of a toss-up between Mindfreak Black, Project Evil, and Elevate. Elevate, it honestly seems like they haven't won a map all fucking year. If they keep the same roster, it's gonna be like they haven't won a map all year with this lineup. So I think it's gonna be Envious and Project Evil that actually come out of groups in Group B alongside Mindfreak Black and Elevate. Unless Elevate really turns it around, I doubt it. For the last 2 years, Elevate and Rise used to be really, really top tier teams with the Vicento, Looney and all those people on there. But sadly, it's gone to the EU side of things, and they just haven't performed like they probably should have. So that's my prediction for Group B. For Group C, we have E United. As you know, they've had a top finish over Optic and a top 2 finish alongside Optic. Mindfreak, which they're one of the only 2 APAC region, aka the only 2 Australian teams coming into this tournament, along with Mindfreak Black and Tainted Minds. They didn't really perform all that well in Anaheim. They didn't perform all that well in groups, so I don't really see them doing much. Team Infused did do all right in the last chance qualifier. Also, Lethal Gaming, which is also in that group, did do all right. So it's kind of a toss-up between Infused and Lethal Gaming. Whoever plays more out of their minds in that group stage, whoever really comes out and just takes over, whether it's Infused or Lethal Gaming, would probably be alongside E United. E United is going to be a pretty simple group for them. They're just going to fly through everyone practically and just gun everybody. I don't think Mindfreak are up for that much of a competition right now. They haven't been for the past however long. So that's who I see coming out. Probably E United and either Infused or Lethal Gaming. It's kind of a toss-up between the 2 since they both play really well. But if I had to really put money on one, I would probably go with Infused. So that's who I see coming out. Infused and E United for Group C. Group D, we have Luminosity Gaming, Rise Nation, Supremacy, and Vitality. Vitality is a organization. You guys may noticed the name off of the Xbox Rainbow Six Siege community and a couple other, I guess, esports, CSGO. So Luminosity Gaming probably have one of the best ARs in Octane. They obviously rode the wave in Anaheim, taking Anaheim. I was there, you guys saw the vlogs. They were a pretty dope team. They're actually really good, and I'm glad that they finally got everything down to actually win some rounds in S&D. So I think it's a pretty simple toss-up between them. I believe if Rise doesn't disappoint us like they have for the latter half of the year, they should come out over Supremacy and Vitality. Supremacy is a French team, and we haven't seen that many French teams, but they are a French team that come here from the EU. And I mean, they're alright. In the last chance qualifier, they didn't do that bad, but they did make it into champs, the top 8 last year. So maybe we'll see in the top 16 last year. So we'll see how that plays out to this year. Vitality, I don't really see them doing much. I mean, they did play okay-ish in the last chance qualifier, just enough to get them in the champs, but I don't see them really doing much. So I think it's a pretty easy Luminosity, and honestly, it's the Supremacy versus Rise game. If Rise just shits the bed, it's obviously going to be Supremacy coming out on top of Rise and Vitality throughout the group play in the next couple days. That's why you have coming out of Group D, Luminosity, and Rise or Supremacy. So Group E has a little bit more of a stacked team, a stacked roster. I don't know, but they have FaZe Clan, Red Reserve, Allegiance, and Era. Era, they were alright. They did come into group play in Anaheim. They didn't really perform as well, but they at least got the chance to play against the pros. Allegiance has been around for forever. They did alright in Anaheim, but so many roster changes have plagued them to where they don't have a really reliable roster. I mean, they're alright. They made it out of the last chance qualifier by a hair, but I don't think that they're actually gonna make it all that far. Red Reserve was playing out of their minds in the stage 2, and I think they're gonna they're probably gonna take some S&Ds off of FaZe. As well as beat probably Allegiance and Era. Red is a really good team. They have probably more of the people off of last year's championship Splice team than Splice does. But Splice has obviously performed a lot better this year than Red, so we'll see how they go. I think it's going to be easily FaZe Clan and Red Reserve out of Group E in that. So we have Group F. Group F is a super toss-up right now. It's so stacked pretty much. So we have Fnatic, EG, Evil Geniuses, Straight Rippin', and Tainted Minds. Now, the first three teams I said, Fnatic, EG, Straight Rippin' can all take series off of each other. Tainted Minds, I don't think makes it at all. They haven't done shit all year, so they're one of the only APAC teams in the region, so I don't think they're gonna make it back at all, or make it out at all. Fnatic, Fnatic's a really good EU team. They're the top 4 EU teams, but Evil Geniuses and Straight Rippin', there's a lot of bad blood between the two teams. Everybody that was dropped off of EG was practically on Straight Rippin', and everybody that's was irrelevant until this year is on EG. So it's honestly it's really hard because EG could beat Fnatic easily, and Fnatic can easily beat Straight Rippin'. So it's honestly a toss-up between Fnatic, EG, and Straight Rippin'. That's a really, really stacked group. So we're gonna see how that goes. I'm honestly really not sure, but I'm for sure Tainted Minds is not making it out of that group. So, sorry, Tainted Minds. Group G, we do have Splice, Ghost Gaming, Millennium, and TK. TK and Millennium have both kind of been up and down throughout the year. Millennium is probably one of the top 8 EU teams. They're probably like the 7th, 8th position of EU teams right now. So they're not like the best EU team, but they're not the worst. So I don't really see them doing all that good or all that bad, to be completely honest. I definitely see Splice coming out. Splice, obviously, your stage 1 finalist, first EU team to get a championship here on US soil ever. Ghost played out of their minds in Anaheim, so if they could keep that up, and I mean they played all right in stages, so as long as they can just keep the composure, I think they can come out on TK. Honestly, I'm sorry, TK. I really like the content side of TK a little bit more than the competitive side of TK, so I really hope that there's some good videos off of the trip to Orlando, but I do not see TK coming out on top, even though I do like all the TK guys a lot. So sorry TK, but I really see Ghost Gaming and Splice taking over Group G. And that, the last but not least pool, we have Enigma 6, Cloud9, Mern Black. I don't know what Mern Black is. I think that's I guess a last chance qualifier team. And then we have Rogue. Rogue played really well in Anaheim. Obviously didn't do all that well because you didn't see them winning the fucking thing. But they played alright. They made it into group stages, and they took a series off someone. I don't remember who they took a series off, but they took a series off one of the pro teams. So that's honestly a really hard toss-up. I really, really want to see this Enigma 6 team really do well. They got top 8 in Anaheim, and that secured their spot as a relatively good Rainbow Six COD team. So I really, really want Enigma 6 to go far in this tournament, to be completely honest. It'd be dope if we see them even winning the goddamn thing. But I really, really want to see what goes on in that tournament. I think it's a pretty easy Cloud9, Enigma 6 out of this group. Aches is still on Cloud9, and he very well just like always puts together a good champs squad every time champs comes around. All we needed was Prestaya and Exotic to just get in the championship form. And I think they'd be able to take take a deep run in this tournament. So I think that they're going to do all right in this tournament. I don't think you should ever count out Cloud9. So Cloud9, Enigma 6 coming out. That's my group play predictions. I don't know about stage play bracket play. I will really have to make a bracket for myself to see who comes out. I will have to finally decide who's going to come out and who's not. I'll flip a coin or something because it's honestly a toss-up between some of these groups. But I'll make a group play, I guess, video while I'm here, and then just upload them one after another, and I'll just do finals and finals. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it plays out all right. Tell me who you guys have coming out in groups that you didn't expect, that I didn't mention coming out of groups. Tell me who you have winning this fucking thing. I'm going to make another video here on stages once I make the stages. So thanks you guys so much for clicking on the video. I know it's a kind of longer video, but it deserves a little bit of a longer explanation time. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. Catch you guys next one. Peace.